All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 48. This is great. We're getting real close to 50. This is exciting. We have two wonderful guests today. But first, this is Feeney Talks with Friends, and I use this podcast thanks to my friend Dave at Direct Line Media and Cody at Weehaw Brewing and Roasting to talk to wonderful people in the community that are doing great things. And today, we are talking with the Bridge Family Center, and they have been in the community for almost 50 plus years, doing great things. So very excited to talk with Martin. How you doing, Martin?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having
And Margaret.
I'm doing fine, great. Thank you for having us.
This is going to be fun. And Friends of Feeney is a nonprofit. Our mission is to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. And again, use this podcast talking with wonderful people. And our missions kind of align. Do you want to talk about the mission for the Bridge Family Center?
Sure. My name is Margaret Hann. I'm the executive director of the Bridge. The mission of the Bridge is really to take care of children and families to build successful lives and move on with their life. Our plan is not to be in somebody's life forever, but to be with them during times when they need us the most. I mean, heartbreak and tragedy is clearly something that resonates with us. And then our families that we work with that are just struggling temporarily, that maybe have a blended family or they're just going under some rough times, which has clearly been happening a lot with the pandemic, and so we're there for them as well. We have residential programs. We have 5 residential programs that take care of kids that are involved with the DCF system of care, and those folks are with us for a little longer period of time. I don't know if you want to talk about all the programs that the Bridge offers right now, but I can do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right. We're a nonprofit organization. We've been around since April the 1st of 1969. We have 4 short-term programs that are located all throughout Connecticut. One is right in West Hartford on Farmington Avenue. It was opened in 1978. We have 3 mental health clinics right now, soon to be 4, opening up our newest mental health clinic on 1021 Farmington Avenue, which is right next door to the shelter that I just mentioned, and right across the street from our main office on 1022 Farmington Avenue. We also have the Mosaic Parenting Center, which we just opened up in January, but that's located in Hartford, just over the line on 664 Farmington Avenue. And that's to work with families that are really wanting to get custody back of their children or redefine their relationship with their children. And it's a wonderful building. It's a little over 6,000 square feet. It was built in 1895, and we renovated, did a lot of cosmetic work before we moved in it, so it's absolutely beautiful, very inclusive building, lots of culturally sensitive art, and our staff is just amazing there. The Bridge also has the Family Resource Center at Charter Oak Academy, which has been around since the early 90s. When they built the new Charter Oak, they put us right front and center. We have our own entrance and our own beautiful space there. So the Bridge is a wonderful place. We have about 150 employees, about a little over $9 million budget. We have 16 very dedicated people that are on our board of directors that are really the head of the organization. They chart the course and make sure that the Bridge has the funds it needs to carry out its mission. We are very excited about our future. The pandemic has been a real testament to our ability to stand strong under stormy times. Martin will talk a little bit more about what's changed in our counseling center and how important it's been that we have had a presence in West Hartford and surrounding communities for when people needed us the most. One of the things I'm really proud of about the Bridge is our versatility and our agility, if you will, is that we moved from an in-person format for our counseling clients to a virtual format in 1 week to make sure that we did not lose anybody and when folks really needed us the most.
That's amazing. Amazing stuff at the Bridge. There's currently construction going on. I see it online. Is that the new building?
Yes,
that's
it is.
Being redone from 1895?
Yep, that's,
oh, wow.
no, not that one. That's,
okay.
That one's done.
Gotcha.
No, this is 1021 Farmington Avenue. It'll be the new Bridge Counseling Center, right next door to our shelter. Yes, that's a building that the Bridge purchased. It was a 2-family that needed some TLC. So we have basically gutted the entire building, put in all new electrical, new HVAC, new roof, new windows, We finished all the floors. It'll be a beautiful space for our families that'll come in and feel welcomed, and a place where they can really find some very needed peace and quiet and some listening ears from our wonderful therapists, from Martin and his staff. It's 2 gas fireplaces, which we're very excited about. I think will really add to a nice, warm, cozy feeling, which is all of our buildings. That's what we strive for, to be very home-like and welcoming. So we're very, very excited about that. We, like everybody else, has been dealing with supply chain delays. And so we're now kind of looking at the end of May for opening that program. We'll have a big grand opening in the fall. So it'll be very, very exciting.
Nice. And what about the old St. Bridget building? Is that connection with the Bridge Family Center?
Well, we are kind of connected with that. We have the Teen Center, which right now operates in Elmwood Community Center. We've had that since 1998. And we have been invited to come to the table and be a part of the discussions as the town opens up this new, very exciting initiative. And yes, our new teen center will be in the St. Bridget's building. And we're hoping that we're going to have a deeper footprint there as well. I would love to see a counseling office, if there's space there. We have a wonderful relationship with the town of West Hartford, and especially the West Hartford Public Schools. We have had since the very beginning, and that's only gotten stronger. Very collaborative, and we really find ourselves really always on the same page, try to do the right thing for the people in this community.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I've been a teacher for 9 years in West Hartford, and the Bridge has been definitely involved in such a positive way in our school system, so that's awesome.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And then back to the base teen center, John Merritt, great guy. I got the opportunity to speak at a teen meeting on March 10th, I think, at the Elmwood Community Center. So it was great to talk with those kids. A lot of former Wolcott students where I went to school. It was great to see them. I look forward to collaborating with them more. A couple of them marched in the parade on St. Patrick's Day while we raised money for the Bridge.
That's great. I also think I don't believe I failed to mention this, is that the Bridge is also the town of West Hartford's Youth Service Bureau, which means we have a presence at almost all the schools in West Hartford. We do in-school counseling, we run groups, we respond to any tragedy in the community, we offer counseling for students and faculty. We are very much involved in that, and we've been really supported through the town of West Hartford and the public school system to continue our work there.
Nice. And you're the executive director.
I am.
Since 1998?
Yep, very good. Yep.
Very good. I did some studying. Now, what have you seen in your time? Any changes, or what makes you? What's your 3 things that make you a great executive director?
Oh wow, 3 things.
So this is a sponsored question from West Hartford Lock. You know West Hartford Lock? It's right up the street too. So 3 keys.
3 keys
To make you a great executive director. And Martin, get ready, because that question's coming your way.
I'm getting ready.
That's cheating.
It's a lot.
The 3 keys. I think the best thing is you surround yourself with very good people, very dedicated staff. There's a quote, I forget who it's from. It could be from Colin Powell, who I really am a huge follower. No good leader should ever find themselves to be the smartest person in the room. And I've always believed that. My job is to attract and maintain the best people, the biggest hearts, the ones that have the biggest array of talent, and their commitment to what we do. I think that's the number 1 key. Part of the Bridge's core belief statement is we work hard, we make it happen, we don't give up easily. So if you want to look at the 3 keys, that's really my job. I work hard, I don't give up easily, and I make it happen. And good executive directors, I think you never let yourself get bigger than the organization. And I think that's the mark of any good leader, is that you're there to support the work of the community, of the staff, of the board of directors, and then that's what you do. You make sure that happens. You become the frame, not the center of the frame.
Nice. Oh, excellent. I like that one. I think that is Colin Powell, and I think it was quoted here. Chief Vern Riddick, the chief of police in West Hartford, might have mentioned that. That was his favorite book.
I'm a big fan of Vern. So.
Oh yeah, Colin Powell. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So Martin, 3 keys. So this is Martin Smith, clinical Director of Counseling
That's right.
since 2000.
Well, no, since about 2016, yeah.
Oh.
So I've been doing this work since 2000, being a therapist and being a supervisor and things like that. I've been with the Bridge for about 6 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
So 3 keys to make you a great clinical.
Let's see. I mean, I definitely agree with what Margaret said. The Colin Powell quote is great. Don't ever be the smartest person in the room. And I really value the people I work with. I work with a fabulous and talented group of therapists, and I really appreciate being able to learn from them as much as they learn from me. They're really, really good at what they do. And I want to work with them because of that. So really kind of cultivating their strengths and, helping them to kind of get better and better and better, because they're going to be doing things that I'm not always going to be probably as good at as they are. So making them excellent is really important. Let's see, 3 keys. I think, I really want to be a trustworthy leader, I would say. I want people to be able to come to me with their actual struggles, to not feel like they have to, make me think that they're perfect all the time. I want to know about those struggles, and especially in the line of therapy, it's a complicated thing that we do, and we're not always going to be perfect at it. So there's always room for growth. So I think as a leader, I want people to be honest and like, hey, this really tricky thing happened. Let's talk that through. And I think, one of the fun things about being a therapist is that we always are kind of getting to grow ourselves. So I want to make sure that as therapists, we are, as aware of kind of our own, strengths and our own struggles, because that's part of the work is not trying to fake it. You can't fake it as a therapist. People can see right through that. We have to be real and authentic, because after all, they are real and authentic relationships with our clients. Granted, they're professional relationships and there's certain boundaries, but without that kind of real, authentic connection, we're really not going to be very good at what we do. So we have to know ourselves really, really well to do that effectively. So I think as a leader, I really want to encourage that in the people I work with. Let's really get to know ourselves well.
How many therapists are there? I think there were like 8 to 10 on the website, maybe?
So let's see. I think all told with interns, we're at about, I think maybe 16 or so right now. So I think we're growing fast, though. Like Margaret said, we have our new building, which will be up and running soon. And, I think there's such a need in the community right now for mental health services that we're seeing a big kind of need for growth within our program as well, just to really keep up with it. And we want to keep up with it very, very badly. That's really important to us. So we really want to be there for the town of West Hartford, for the larger, areas that we serve. And we see it. We see people, really struggling. There's been a lot of really tough stuff going on. Obviously COVID, obviously other big world events. And, we see people struggling with anxiety and depression and grief and loss. So, when the need is there, one of the strengths I see in Margaret as a leader is she's a fierce advocate, a real, pit bull, if you will, to kind of go towards that challenge. And right now that challenge is getting everybody in the door and giving them the services they need without having to wait, 6 months for treatment. So anyway, we're growing.
Now, if someone wanted treatment or needed to talk with someone, is there an email or phone number that you'd like to share?
Absolutely. They can call the main number, which is 860-313-1119. If people want to email me directly just to have a conversation about therapy, what is it, how do I get involved, I'm always happy to talk to people. msmith@bridgefamilycenter.org. It's pretty simple just to call in. You'll get a live person on the phone, usually our administrative assistant, Heather, who's fabulous and wonderful, and she'll talk to you and answer questions. And if those questions are more complicated about, kind of clinical issues that are going on, I'm always available to talk to people.
And it's free of charge?
So for the therapy itself is not. We're fee for service,
Insurance.
but we take all
Insurance-based?
major insurances, including Medicaid. So no one's left out. And if people can't afford the fee, we have a sliding scale fee as well. Yeah.
We also work with the town of West Hartford, some funds that have become available for folks that are really struggling, that can't afford a copay, can't afford anything. We work with them. The bridge doesn't turn people away for their, if they come to us and say, we just don't have any funds. We work with them to figure out where we can get some funds to help pay for their therapy. Because one of the things about a nonprofit, we're a business. So unless we really kind of keep an eye on our bottom line, we won't be around to serve the over 8,000 children and families we serve every year. And that happens to a lot of nonprofits. They get very focused on just really kind of, which is great. They want to perform their mission, but then they forget. But part of being able to perform their mission is having qualified staff and buildings and paying your heat and your insurance costs and everything else that goes along with that.
No, I'm very interested to learn. I learned something today that I thought it was that one building on Farmington. And come to find out, there's 160 employees and a budget of
a little over $9 million for fiscal year 23.
That's amazing. That it's like, I thought, they 10 counselors and just the great things that you've been doing, and it's just overwhelming. And you're continuing to grow, which is also phenomenal. Thank
you. We have 12 different sites. I always think of our main office on Farmington Avenue as kind of the tip of the iceberg. So
is that going to stay?
Yes, that's our plan. Yep.
And the new building is going to be on the same side?
Nope, right across the street.
Oh, right across the
street.
Yeah,
we have the shelter, which is Fryman House, named after the first female executive director of the bridge, Ruth Fryman, and that's at 1019 Farmington Avenue. For those folks that are watching, that might be historians, remember Junction 1019, when that's how that was originally started. Then it became the Bridge U Shelter, and a few years ago it became Fryman House. And Right next door to that will be our new clinic. And right across from that, right next door to St. James Church, is our main office.
Wow. And we are currently in 141 Shield Street at the Weehaw Brewing and Roasting, hosting us for the podcast. And Martin, your office is 100 Shield Street.
Yeah, so we're just down the street, 100 Shield Street. That's our newest clinic. So it's one of 4. So we have 4 sites. So our main site is going to be the 1021 Farmington Avenue right there in the center.
Gotcha.
That'll be our biggest site. We've always kind of had that main presence in West Hartford Center. We used to be in a building across the street. But this is a big deal because we've purchased this building. It's going to be really beautiful. Like Margaret said, it's going to be very spacious. So plenty of therapy offices, which is going to be great. So that'll be kind of our main office. And then we have this location on Shield Street. And we also have an office in Rockville up near Vernon, and another over in Avon. So really kind of spread out a bit right now.
And where do you spend most of your time?
So right now I'm here at Shield Street, but I'll be over at the 1021 office when that's ready to go in the next month or so. So looking forward to that.
How about Margaret? Where do you spend most of your time? What building?
At the main office on 1021 Farmington Avenue, right next door to Reverend Hooper.
Nice. Nice. Well, that was 3 Keys. Thank you. I want to just shout out a couple sponsors. 3 Keys is sponsored by West Hartford Lock. We are also sponsored by the Keating Agency. So thank you, Ryan and Mike and Maureen on Arapahoe Road. Gastro Park. You ever been to Gastro Park? The food trucks?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Tate, episode 19. Thank you so much. And the Fix IV. The Fix, a couple buildings down, across from Donut Crazy.
Nice.
Have you ever had a Fix?
I have not had a Fix.
Ooh. Have you ever had a Crazy Donut?
I've had a Crazy Donut.
All right, we're going to get to the crazy questions sponsored by Crazy Donuts soon. So, no, that's great. Do you have like a favorite moment, like something that, as a teacher, you always want to think of one kid or try to help that one kid. Do you have a person that could come to your mind that you like, it's like a success story of your therapy?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I mean,
without giving names, of course.
Yeah. I'll try and think of one that goes back a few years so it doesn't sound too familiar. But I can think of, I've done a lot of work with teenagers over the years. That's kind of been the bulk of my career. When I was, way back in grad school, if you had told me, do you want to work with, really troubled teenagers? I would have said, no way, are you nuts? That sounds really, really hard. But, that was kind of the first work that I found myself stumbling into out of graduate school, and I just fell in love with it immediately. I love working with teenagers. They're really kind of grappling with new things for the first time. They're learning to use these big, powerful, more sophisticated brains that are capable of things that they weren't capable of like a year ago. And so how do I make sense of this new complex self, this capacity to kind of exist in the world in ways that were much, much more complicated than when I was just a few years younger. So I think I found that a lot of fun, and I can think of quite a few teens I've really enjoyed working with, but one in particular, he was in foster care, and had just a really, really challenging upbringing of neglect and having been living in a home with drug-addicted parents, and sadly a very, very familiar story. And I found with him, like a lot of teens like him, that he was, of course, hard to connect to. He was really guarded. He didn't really trust people very easily. He was very charming and charismatic, but it was really superficial. And to try to get him to talk about things that were more meaningful and more real was really difficult. But I knew enough to be really patient with him, just to talk about those more superficial things, to just kind of be present for him, to not push him too hard. And over time, we developed a good, trusting relationship where he was able to really open up with me about his past, about his biological family, about some of the challenges of being vulnerable, of having relationships where people can kind of see those parts of him that he kind of feels like he needs to protect most of the time. So that was a really powerful relationship, and I think also kind of helped me understand what therapy is all about, because that is really what it's about. It's about providing a safe place for people to be vulnerable with another person, another human being. We all need that. I mean, that's such a key part of being a human being, is when something happens to us, whether it's terrible or wonderful, but we have these experiences, we need to talk about it to make sense out of it. We need to process it, and we do that with other people. And there needs to be safety and trust in those relationships. So I'm grateful to that young man for helping me learn about that.
No, I made so many connections while you were talking. As a teacher too, that relationship is most important. Kids don't learn from teachers that they don't like. So
Right.
You got to build that relationship first. And there's always a saying that teachers are, a teacher, a coach,
Mm-hmm.
a parent, a therapist, a cheerleader, or so many other things. So a lot of connections that were
Yeah.
made while you were talking. So
Yeah, teaching, mental health, it's complex stuff, but all of the things that we want to do, I think, as teachers and as therapists, it's really, the treatment's kind of really in a way kind of the easy part. It's getting people to where they're open enough to receive those things. That's the hard part, and I think that's where the real skill. That's where really good teachers become really good teachers, and I think that's the real skill of a good therapist too.
So you mostly did teenage work, but did you also do some family and marriage counseling as well?
Definitely. So part of my training was, whenever you're working with a young person, you always include the family. It's always, kids don't exist in a vacuum. They live with a family usually. So, for any meaningful work to happen with a young person, you really got to loop the family in as well. But later in my career, I've had a chance to work with just individual adults as well, and couples. And I love that also. It's nice in my working for the Bridge and for the Bridge Counseling Center. We get a really wide range of clients. I think we have a little 4-year-old client, and we have clients in their 70s and 80s and everything in between. But I really like that variety a lot.
That's a broad extreme.
Really broad.
From 4
Yeah.
to 94.
Yeah, we take them all. So yeah.
How about some marriage advice to all our listeners out there?
Oh boy, let's see. Make sure you're married to your best friend. I think that's,
Okay.
and also know that it's not always it's not supposed to be smooth all the time. We're supposed to to work things out sometimes. But as long as we're willing to to listen to each other. And I was going to say talk to each other. The talking is the easy part. It's the listening part that's a little harder. So we actually have to listen to each other. And that's a lot of what we do in couples therapy. It's like, okay, let's slow this down a little bit, because I hear both of you talking, but I don't really hear either of you listening so much. So listen.
That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can do twice as much listening.
That's right. I like that. It's good.
That's what we tell the kids. And there's 1 microphone. 1 person talks at a time.
That's right.
So, anything else you'd like to share about the therapy?
Well,
I had a question too. Because of the pandemic, did you see, I mean, it's obvious, but can you put a number on the rise of anxiety and depression because of are there studies out or bar graphs out yet about?
I wish I could. I don't know about
personally,
numbers.
have you seen a rise?
Oh yeah, and I can say, I mean, just in terms of the amount of clients we see.
Last year, our sessions increased by 70%.
Wow. All right, that was the number I was looking for. That's more than half. Dave, that's more than half. Okay, so definitely a rise.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, what did the bridge do to help face that head on?
Well, as I mentioned previously, virtual counseling has been on our radar screen for a few years. So we researched it a little bit. We had some basic knowledge of it, but during the pandemic, we right away said, okay, now we've got to move forward. So we have an in-house IT professional that helped us. We have a wonderful Martin, who you met, and Shannon Ty, who's our Director of Clinical Operations, Hildy Fontanella, who's our Chief Financial Officer, and all the wonderful therapists all got together and said, okay, what are we going to do to make this happen? So we worked with our electronic record system and, like I said, our IT professional on staff to really do what we could to make sure our clients understood that we're not going to leave them. Just because you can't come in, you're not comfortable with that, we're here. And it was a few hiccups along the way, but I think in short order, we managed to get through that. So the other thing that we did is we assembled a crisis team right away, and we met 3 times a week virtually, and that was really our saving grace. That was the members of the leadership group at the Bridge, and our IT person, and our clinical staff, and like our finance department, Doreen Trasio, our director of development and communications. Everybody was a lot of people were a part of that team, and we really kind of touched base with each other, shared stories, shared needs. We reached out to families. John, you mentioned John Merritt. If he lost track of a teen center kid, if he couldn't reach them by text or Twitter or email or whatever other way, he went to their house and banged down the door and made sure they were okay. So there was a lot of really grassroots case management, and really, like I said, we don't give up easily, and that was really, our tagline is children and families are the center of our work, and that really drove that through for us.
And it's amazing you made that shift and that pivot in 1 week, you said too earlier. That's commendable. And shout out to Doreen, head of communications.
Yeah. And development.
Well,
while I'm here too, I just want to make a quick shout out for the Children's Charity Ball, which will be April the 30th at the Hartford Golf Club, starting at 6 o'clock. You can buy your tickets online, bridgefamilycenter.org. Please come. It's going to be a wonderful event. We need to raise $250,000 to carry out our wonderful mission at the Bridge.
So I'm gonna hold this up to the camera, but Dave will also put a color copy when I send it to him. So yeah, April 30th, Saturday, Hartford Golf Club. That's a really nice place.
We love it there.
I played that once on the golf course. I hope to attend. I'm gonna try.
That would be great. Get your tickets.
I had Friends of Feeney in 2019 had a brochure ad, and then I work at High Meadow Day Camp. We donated a free week.
Thank you. Yep.
So shout out to High Meadow.
Your organization has been wonderful to us. We appreciate all of your support.
Yep, and yeah, this is great. So $250,000 on this one event.
$250,000.
Let's go. Reach in your pockets, people.
That's profit. That's some organizations, they report their math.
Will there be a raffle again?
Profit. Yes, there'll be a live auction, silent auction. Some of that, the live auction will not be online, but the silent auction goes up online. And a week before the event, Doreen? Yep, week before the event, which will be the 23rd. And so you can bid there. They have the Changing Lives Challenge, which is wonderful. We show a great video that some of Martin's clients are a part of, and talk a little bit about the mission of the bridge. And people have an opportunity to raise their paddle and support anywhere from $5,000 on down to $100 to really support the mission of our organization. And that's unrestricted money that we can take care of those families. The single mom of 4 kids that fell down in her kitchen during the pandemic and broke her leg, couldn't work. We made sure she had food, her bills were paid. Those are all the things that we were able to move really quickly to help.
That's
because
amazing.
of this event.
Dining, dancing. Will you dance? Martin, will you dance?
I can dance, sure. I'll
Okay.
try.
All right.
It's a dance marathon in college.
It won't be pretty, but it'll be fun. Yeah.
No, really looking forward to it. Yep, Saturday, April 30th. I'm going to try to make it. My friends, Steve Dean and Catherine Dean.
Oh, we know them well. She's a member of the Children's Charity Ball Committee.
Yes, if I go, I'll be sitting with them, Steve
Okay,
Dean and
good.
Catherine Dean.
Wonderful.
And shout out to Julia Dean, because I guess she just packed, how many envelopes? 500 envelopes. She's be a good friend. Julia Dean's a good friend. She's running the TikTok page for Friends of Feeney, so when you see some cool videos. The Deans are a great family.
Absolutely. Big supporters of the organization, of our bridge.
So yeah, thank you. We'll be seeing them. They're dancers too. They'll be dancing.
Well, there's a lot of people who like to dance. I usually get my husband to dance a couple, so it takes a little cajoling, but
Yep. So we'll get that color copy up there. I'll share a link on the podcast that people can go directly and get the tickets.
thank you very much.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And then thank you for letting Friends of Feeney collaborate. In 2019, we marched in the St. Patrick's Day Parade and we raised money. We raised $500. I want to shout out a couple people that donated. Mario Bugelli from Radbeard, he's my buddy from the National Guard. John Decker donated. Jillian and Evan Gilchrist. Kevin Green. Q. Kristen and Jacob Warblow. So $500, those people helped donate. This year, we marched again. This is another color copy. So really excited to collaborate. There's Dennis House with our float. And here's our shirt. I'm going to give you guys each a shirt.
Oh, thank
All right.
you.
Nice.
And as you can see, it says, be a good friend. That's our motto. You know, hold the door for someone. Pick up trash that's not yours. Give a compliment. Be charitable. You know, if you're not going to give, you don't have to give to Friends of Feeney, but if you give to Food Share or the Bridge Family Center or a nonprofit that's near and dear to your heart. So be charitable. But it was great to collaborate. Hartford St. Patrick's Day Parade, fundraising for the bridge, and we had this link. So you could be a friend. The link is still live, people, so please donate. So we got you a shirt. Be a good friend.
Nice.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank
Be a
you.
good friend.
This is great.
We can work out the sizes
All
later.
right.
Oh.
That's good. Thank you.
Doreen in the back. No, it's great. Just so happy to collaborate and finally talk with you and for you to share everything that's going on, because you do wonderful things and for so many years. And I think West Hartford needs to know about it if they don't know already. So thank you. Be a good friend. So that's funny you called her a pit bull. Does it make her a good friend, being the pit bull leader?
You want her on your side. That's what I mean. Definitely.
What makes Martin a good friend?
Oh, Martin? Well, first of all, anything I ask Martin to do, he does it without any hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
And like things like this. I never get the impression that Martin has any hesitation at all in knowing the right thing to do. He has an incredible compass. And I think that really shines through in all of his work. We're very fortunate to have Martin. He is a find for this organization, definitely.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, besides being a pit bull, what makes her a good friend?
Well, no, I honestly,
Or in addition to?
yeah. So, Margaret she is a fierce advocate for the children and families of our communities, truly, and that's why the bridge is so strong. I mean, Margaret's leadership has, really, she's great at kind of rallying her employees, rallying the community, rallying different people that we work with, so that we're all kind of working towards this mission, which is a really important one. Every family, every child, every time, and Margaret lives and breathes that. And she is a powerful advocate, and that's a great thing to have in a leader. So I value that immensely. Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, now I just saw two, Michigan State Spartans.
Absolutely.
Did you go there?
I sure did.
Yeah.
And all my money, too.
My friend Andy's on the podcast, Michigan State. So do you know Magic Johnson?
Oh, very well. I lived in the same dorm with him. I used to play, actually, I worked in a detention center in Lansing, Michigan, and he would come in and shoot baskets with our kids. He's
Nice.
wonderful.
Isn't he?
Did a lot for the Lansing community.
Yeah, he's
He's
awesome.
a great guy.
Any other alums?
James Kahn.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some others too, but I can't remember right off the top of my head. Yeah, there's definitely some Michigan State.
Are you
folks.
born in Michigan?
I was, yes, Pontiac, Michigan.
Okay.
Where the cars are made. Yep.
Gotcha, because you're a Detroit Tigers fan too.
Yeah, big time Tigers fan, and Red Wings and the poor Lions. Yeah, I'm still a fan of the Lions, but yep, definitely.
Very cool. I had to bring that up. I saw that. Detroit Lions. How about Eminem? You know Eminem?
I don't know him personally, but I've been on 8 Mile many times.
There you go. There you go. And where are you from, Martin?
I'm a California boy. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Nice.
So yeah, San Francisco and in the peninsula there, and went to school in Santa Cruz, the University of California. Go Banana Slugs.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm a very proud West Coaster.
They won in baseball. Didn't they win a baseball national championship a while ago?
You know, they could have. It's not a huge sports school. I know
Okay.
my best friend in college was on the tennis team, and they won the national championship tennis match or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So, as far as sports, that's about as much as I know. I was too busy out in the ocean surfing. That's my passion. So, yeah, if they had a surfing team, I would have paid attention to that, I think.
I went to Southern Connecticut State and we're the Fighting Owls, but I thought that was like weak. Banana Slugs, that might take the cake.
It's just perfect.
Isn't it great?
It's for a school that doesn't take itself too seriously, I think. Yeah.
And then the
But-
almighty Spartans.
Yeah, Michigan State sports. Definitely, we take our sports very seriously.
Yeah.
How's Tom Izzo?
He's good. I happen to like him very much. I went to school there when Judd Heathcote was the coach, and we played Larry Bird and on the other team, and yeah, it was I had season tickets for everything. I was a dorm rat for 4 years, so I went to everything. I loved it. It was the best. It wasn't the best 4 years of my life, but it was a great 4 years, and I went to grad school there too.
Oh, great. Awesome. And what brought you?
Well, my husband, we met. We weren't high school sweethearts, but we knew each other in high school when we started dating my senior year of college. And he went to that other school in Ann Arbor. And but after he started dating me, he saw the light and transferred to Michigan State. And he graduated and got a job he's an engineer in Connecticut. And that's back when nobody was hiring anybody. So I decided that, we're going to live in Connecticut. And we never really looked back. We go back to Michigan 3 or 4 times a year. I still have a mom that lives there, is 93, who's still very much with it. And my brother lives there. So we go back quite a bit.
That's awesome. All right, so we got a dinner. This is a Gastro Park sponsored for dinner guests. If you could go to dinner, well, do you have a favorite West Hartford restaurant or restaurant, period? Do you have a favorite restaurant? Let's start there. Your favorite restaurant, and then 4 guests, dead or alive, that you would like to invite.
Holy smokes.
What's stumping you, the guests or the place?
It's just so many choices. I think it's the guests that's stumping me.
Yeah, my favorite restaurant's Beachland Tavern. Everybody knows that about me. I love it. Consistent, great service, good food, and parking.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think...
What's your go-to meal there?
Oh, I get the Cobb salad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love it, yeah. I think for me, Eleanor Roosevelt, Colin Powell, probably my grandmother, who was my mentor, and Jeff Flax. I've always wanted to meet him. I think he's done incredible things with Hartford Healthcare.
Okay,
So,
I was going to say, I don't recognize that
yeah,
guy.
I think that's his name, right? I think he's Jeff Flax, right? Right, Dorian keeps track of the stuff for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I told Doreen, I said he's on my list of people I want to meet. So I think he's just done, and he's very believable when he speaks. So I like that.
That's awesome. Good answer. Come on, Martin.
All right, let's see. I really love Arugula in the center. It's a great restaurant. It's just kind of little, and it's always had a couple of nice times there for different events, interesting food, kind of Middle Eastern. So I love that place. And man, to have a party of people there, wow, I would say, we got to bring Robin Williams because he's a genius and he's hilarious, and definitely be a fun guy to hang out with. And then we're gonna have to mix it up a little bit with Thomas Merton, who is a monk who is contemplative and manages to kind of bring to life Christianity in a way that really draws a lot of meaning out of it, I think. Let's see. Then we're gonna have to throw a professional surfer in there too. Let's see. Big wave rider. We'll go with Matt Warsaw because he's just conquers these waves that are as big as buildings. So you have to love that. And oh man, last one. How about one of my therapist heroes? We'll go with Carl Rogers because he's just so kind and gentle but real and very authentic, and he's all about knowing that people are fundamentally healthy on their own. We just have to kind of get out of their way so they can express themselves, and when they're able to do that, their health kind of shines through. So he'd be cool to hang out with. Yeah.
All right, got a couple guests I've never heard of. This is amazing. Flax, Carl Rogers. Is Carl Rogers still around?
No, he died a while back. He was kind of part of this big humanistic psychology movement in the early 60s, which kind of flourished throughout the 60s. And he and a bunch of others really pioneered this idea that what therapy really is about isn't kind of fixing these sort of broken, kind of, deficient people, but really it's about, creating a space where people can express themselves without fear, without judgment, where they can be vulnerable and know that that's okay. And by doing so, they're going to find this, really healthy, kind of grounded part of themselves. So it's less, this sort of medical model where the therapist is almost like this doctor going to fix the problem, and more that we're just sort of helping people to sort of express themselves in a more authentic way. So yeah, he was pretty
I have
innovative.
to look him up. That's great.
Yeah, it was a new way of thinking
down.
back then.
Carl Rogers. I like that one.
Yeah.
Surfing. What's the biggest wave that you ever surfed?
Oh, I used to be a lot braver, and I was a bit of a fanatic in high school and college, and surfed some pretty big waves. But I'm much, much less brave and much less fit than I used to be. So little waves are fun for me now.
Probably much more married now.
Much
too,
more
right?
married, much more a dad, and yeah, that's right.
When's the last time you surfed?
I went out last summer. Yeah, I go out to Rhode Island, which is really fun, and it's perfect for me now in the summertime especially. The waves are small and manageable, and I can, sit on my board and look at the birds about as much as I do catch waves, and that's just about right for me these days.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. What do you do for fun? You surf?
No, I think my surfing days are over, along with my, wrestling days.
That's right.
What do I do for
Pro
fun?
football.
Yeah, pro football, yeah. I like to spend time with my family. I have a daughter that's an ER nurse at St. Francis, and her husband, who's a West Hartford firefighter, and my husband. I like to travel. Before COVID, I like to try to do a little bit more of that. I love to fish. So coming from Michigan, that's a big thing. You fish and hunt in Michigan. Fish, hunt, and drink. I don't do too much of the latter, but it's a great sport for me. It's all about patience and anticipation and outsmarting the fish. And I'm a big catch and release girl, but I love to bass fish. So
very cool
pastime.
That's great. All right, now we're on to some crazy questions.
Oh boy.
These are written from kids. Crazy questions.
Love those.
From Donut Crazy.
Oh boy.
What's your favorite donut at Donut Crazy?
I kind of like to go old school, just like a chocolate glaze.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a one that was stuffed with cookie dough one time, and I had to nap for the rest of the day. So I'm just going to go simple, old school, chocolate glazed. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite donut?
I do. Yeah, I try not to eat them at my ripe old age of 66, but there's not the custard fill, but the cream fill, like a glazed donut with the Bavarian cream and chocolate on top.
Very nice. All right, what minute are we for crazy questions, Dave?
We are at 44.
So 44 minutes with Feeney. You guys are doing great. How you guys feeling?
Feeling
Oh,
good?
great.
Yeah,
All
having
right.
a good time. This is
Yeah,
fun.
it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad. This is I'm very excited that you're here again, so thank you again for coming. This means a lot. Does your family center bridges? Oh, this guy's trying to make a joke. All right. All right, so we'll skip that one. Would you rather eat donut crazy for the rest of your life or wear Friends of Feeney merch for the rest of your life? You wear that t-shirt for the rest of your life or eat donuts for the rest of your life?
Well, because I'm with you, I would definitely wear the t-shirt, because if I ate donuts, I wouldn't have much of a life left.
Wear the shirt while eating the donuts. We'll do
Oh, always the politician.
that. That's right, yes.
Would you rather play Minecraft or give all your money away?
I'll play some Minecraft, yeah. Give my money away.
Would you rather fries or burgers?
Oh, burgers, definitely.
Yeah, I'll definitely take the burger.
How old are you?
I'm 66.
I know you just said it. That's the only reason I'm asking again.
No, I don't care.
Because you already
can ask
mentioned
my age
it.
all you want.
I'm 49. I can't wait to finally just turn 50, because then you don't anticipate it anymore.
Just
It's
get
like,
over
I'm
it.
50. No big deal.
Rip the Band-Aid.
Exactly.
Just a kid yet.
That's right.
I'm 44. Sorry, I'm going to be 44, and it's like,
Wow.
oof. My mother-in-law just reminded me of that at my sister-in-law's birthday.
What is family for? But to remind
Right?
you how old you
Yeah.
are.
Thanks.
Remind you how
Right,
old you're
yeah,
getting, right?
yeah.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Recess.
Nice.
Of
Good
course.
answer.
Lunch, yeah. I mean, PE, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, and this student, his mom is a therapist, so connection. Would you rather eat Donut Crazy or Dunkin' Donuts?
I am going with Donut Crazy. I don't even have to think about that one.
Thank you. That's our sponsor too, so
Oh,
well
good.
done. Well done.
Donut crazy.
Well done. Shout out to Irene at Farmington. She's episode 10, so check it out. Do you play video games?
I do not. I used to when I was younger. A lot of Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, but it's been a while. Yeah,
Do you have an iPhone or a Samsung?
iPhone.
What's your favorite animal?
Dog.
Yeah, definitely dog.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Green.
Do you have Nike shoes?
Yes.
Yeah, I do actually.
Would you rather be water in a cup or water in a water bottle?
I think I'd rather be in a cup. That way
Yeah.
I'd have more freedom.
Less confined. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take the cup.
I like that question. That's a great
Is that a
what
therapy question?
Yeah, I was just going to say, that sounds like a Martin
I'm gonna
question.
think about that one for
Yeah.
a while. Yeah, it's kind of got my head spinning a little bit.
I should have brought pictures. What do you see here?
Yeah,
right.
no,
Yes.
Would you rather be a cat or a dog?
I think dogs live a pretty good life. I noticed that working from home during the pandemic, like, wow, my dog really just sleeps all day long and then plays for an hour. So it seems like a good life.
I think I'd rather be a cat. I think cats are really good at just getting everybody to wait on them and not having to do very much.
That's true.
Yeah, I'd like to try that sometime. Yeah.
Would you rather have a cat named Luna or a cat named Tonks?
Tonks is a pretty bizarre name. I'd have to try that one out.
Yeah,
That sounds
maybe
kind of
that
fun.
one,
Yeah.
Would you rather eat ramen or tacos?
Tacos.
Would you rather play with a fidget spinner or a poppet?
I don't know.
I've played with both actually
Yeah.
many times because
Oh, this-
they're like good things to have in therapy rooms. I like those fidget spinners.
Yeah,
They're
I
pretty
like doing that, too.
satisfying.
Yeah, they're kind of fun looking.
Yeah.
Would you rather live across from a donut place or an ice cream place?
Ice cream, no
Ice cream,
question.
When did you get your job?
The job I have right now,
Mhm.
1987. I started work for the bridge in 87. I became the executive director in 98.
Nice. What'd you do prior to being an executive director?
I was the group home director of Main Street House in Mystic, Connecticut. And before that, I worked for Ingham County Juvenile Court. And before that, I worked at a grocery store.
Nice.
And before that, I delivered papers and walked dogs, and I always had a job.
I was a paper delivery person.
Yep.
10 years.
Oh boy.
No one wanted to sleep over my house, and I couldn't sleep over anyone's house because I had papers to deliver. Did you feel that way too?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep, a little bit.
Waterbury Republican. What was your paper?
Pontiac Press.
Pontiac Press. All right, cool. What's your favorite TV show?
Trying to think because I watch what my kids like to watch, and I've sort of are those my favorite shows? I don't. Oh boy, I love like documentaries on people who climb huge mountains, like Mount Everest and stuff like that.
Did you watch 14 Peaks on Netflix?
I haven't, but it's on my list. But I just saw The Alpinist,
Oh, yeah.
which was mind-boggling to see this guy climb these massive alpine peaks with no rope,
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
Your hands actually start to sweat
Literally,
watching, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, truly. It's terrifying, but they're fascinating.
There's another one, Free Solo.
That was,
That's the one I watched.
Amazing.
I didn't watch the Alpinist.
yep, Alex Honnold. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite book?
Kitchen Table Wisdom.
Interesting. Do you have kids?
I do.
One daughter.
32-year-old daughter.
2 boys. I have a 18-year-old son and a 15-year-old son.
Nice.
Yeah, they're cool kids.
Would you rather eat ice cream that tastes like pizza or pizza that tastes like ice cream? That's every podcast question.
Probably neither one.
You're
Can
not
we
playing the
just
game right.
pass on that?
Yeah.
Kind of a purist.
Right.
Would you rather be a vegan or a vegetarian?
Neither one.
I could do vegetarian, but
Yeah.
giving up ice cream would be rough. I don't know if I could handle that.
What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas. It's the best.
Thanksgiving.
Nice. Would you rather live on a bridge or live in space?
Bridge.
Definitely a bridge. Gotta say bridge.
Yeah,
If
right,
you don't say
yeah,
bridge,
yeah,
we're...
yeah, right.
Did we do favorite food? Favorite food?
Burritos.
Ooh,
Steak.
nice. Yeah, you're definitely not a vegetarian. Would you rather be a ruler or a piece of paper?
Ruler, I guess, a little more solid. 'Cause it's gonna blow away, maybe. That's probably a good
Kind of a
thing.
therapy question, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
These kids,
It's
like,
like a-
you should get the names and numbers of these kids.
Seriously, right?
Hurting them.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about what I'm revealing about myself here, not even knowing it. They're all taking notes with my answers.
Yeah, really.
Who's your favorite Harry Potter character?
Well, that's a good one. I guess I know you got to love Ron. He's kind of the underdog, You always kind of rooting for Ron. He never quite pulls it off, but you kind of want him to. Poor Ron.
Ron Weasley.
Yeah, yeah.
Your favorite U.S. state?
Michigan.
I knew you were going to say
It's
it.
got to be California.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. The homeland.
That's right.
Would you rather favorite food, favorite veggie? How old are you? Got that one. How many friends do you have?
Not enough.
Good answer. I like that. I'll go with that one too.
Always need more.
Yep.
Good friends.
Would you rather eat a donut or some soup?
Kind of depends what kind of soup, I guess. It'd have to be pretty good soup to beat a donut.
Right? What soup would beat a donut?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Miso soup,
If I could find
minestrone
soup that good, then I would eat that soup.
Do you have a mansion?
No.
We're nonprofit. We don't.
Would you rather be a scissor or a rock?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Probably go for the rock. Nice piece of granite. That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Would you rather? Do you have any pets?
Not now. We did at one point have 3 golden retrievers, 3 cats, and a rabbit, but
Whoa,
we are done with the farm.
sounds like a zoo. What's your favorite letter?
I'm just going to be selfish and go with M. M for Martin. I mean, come on.
I'm going to go with B for bridge and be
There
really
you
political
go.
here.
Nice.
There we go. Buffalo wings or spicy chicken burger?
Spicy chicken burger sounds pretty good. I'm getting a
I
little,
agree.
starting to
Yeah,
get a
I
little
agree.
hungry
Yep.
with these questions.
It is. I'm starving now. Would you rather be a dog with 6 legs or a cat that has 5 legs?
I don't have a real strong preference on that one, I must say, but I do love dogs. I'm gonna have to go with the dog.
What do you do for being healthy?
Well, I walk a lot. I swim. Try to get out to the ocean as much as I can. I try to eat well. Yeah, I mean, in this line of work, we do have to take really good care of ourselves. And in all seriousness, I mean, that's something we talk about a lot. Like, we deal with a lot of stressful things. We're talking about serious things a lot. So that whole self-care thing is important. So lots of exercise does it for
Follow-up
me.
question. How important is exercise to stress relief?
I mean, I think it's important for everybody. I think some people maybe need it more than others. I've always kind of been hardwired that way, where I got to move, and I love that feeling of exercise. But, I think that there's I don't remember where I heard this, but I did hear of a psychiatrist, and I believe she's at Stanford, who, when meeting with someone who wants to start medication, will say, okay, before I put you on any medication, I want you to change your sleep habits so you're sleeping a good 7-8 hours a day. I want you to exercise and get outside every day. I want you to eat 3 decent meals a day. And I want you to make sure to interact with at least somebody every day. And after a month, come back and we'll see how you're doing. And half the people she meets with don't even need medication anymore. So much of being well is just that really simple, no-brainer kind of self-care. We all kind of know how to do it, but we don't necessarily do it enough. So I think all that stuff is really, really important.
No, there are days I feel better after working out. Like I play basketball at the JCC, gets the stress relief,
Huge. It's so helpful.
For like an hour, I'm worried about getting this ball and putting it in the hoop.
Exactly, right.
So when you go home or you go to work, you're like,
right, yes.
I think for me, it's just, about quite a few, 2015, I just decided that the food pyramid did not include sugar on the bottom, that it should be at the top, so I kind of inverted it and tried to stay away from sugar, and that's been a big help.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
sugar, salt, and stress.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, the stress is, I think, stress is part of everybody's life.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's just you have to learn how to manage it.
Absolutely.
That's what I believe anyway.
Very true. Yep.
Any advice on how to manage stress?
Part of it, I think, is trying to put things in compartments, and so that it doesn't overtake your life, and also knowing what you can fix and what you can't fix, and learning the things that you can't fix and how you're going to cope with them. And I think that a lot of people spend a lot of time, I know myself included, because I think I should be able to fix everything, and you can't. You just have to let go of certain things, and I think once you come to peace with that, you're a lot better off.
I think we could all be a lot easier on ourselves too. I mean, I think we expect,
That's so true.
we expect to kind of have all the answers. We expect to not make mistakes, and especially when things get stressful, I think that really kind of that need to fix everything and make it better really ramps up. We expect even more of ourselves. So not being too hard on ourselves is really, really important. And I'm a firm believer in routine too. And I think especially during the pandemic, I found myself preaching that all the time. Like, structure your day in such a way that, you're not just going to be bogged down in this stressful thing all the time, because it's really easy to just get lost in that. We have to kind of build in those times to kind of play basketball or, have some good food, hang out with a friend, and just sit quietly with some tea, whatever. But we can easily forget to do those things. So routine's really important.
Yeah, the pandemic definitely but negatively affected my routine. I'm a teacher. I'm so used to standing, where the pandemic had me sitting more.
Right.
My back started giving me issue, and just felt that my exercise went down. You're in the house more.
Yep.
But then I realized it, and I'm like, we're going for dog walks more. Like, we have to get outside. So the fresh air was key. Standing. I got a standing desk. One of my students' grandfathers built a standing desk, homemade standing desk, which was great. So, like when you find a problem, find a solution. So.
And that's the thing I think the pandemic did to us, is it altered all of those routines, and we knew it. We knew our lives were different, but I think we weren't used to having to plan for all that stuff all the time. You never thought about, gee, I better stand more, because you just did. That's what you did every day. But now you're thinking to yourself, wow, I really got to stand more frequently. So there's a lot of planning we'd never had to do before.
All right, so we got one more game. But before that, I want to shout out the event again, and then I have an event that we're going to share. Did we talk? Yeah, base team. That was me. I'm in the back here.
Oh, yeah, yep.
There's
Look
John.
at that. Look at John.
All right.
Brett,
Nice.
a couple former it was really
Oh,
cool.
different John looks there.
Yeah, yeah.
John is skinny now.
And then, no, very excited to go and be a part of the new place at St. Bridget's. But April 30th, where's that? April 30th. Saturday, April 30th. Children's Charity Ball. After that, May 3rd, thanks to Direct Line Media, we're doing our 50th podcast is going to be at Playhouse on Park.
Oh.
Our 50th podcast, 50. We're really excited. We're going to celebrate. We have an hour of cocktail hour. No kidding. Weehaw Roasting and Brewing is going to bring the beer. Maximum Beverage is going to bring cocktails. Doro and Zahara are going to bring food. So we're going to have a great event. And then 7 o'clock podcast with games, questions from the audience, raffles. It's just going to be a really exciting event. We collaborated with Tracy down at Playhouse and Park. Thanks to my buddy Dave at Direct Line Media. It's going to be great. So if you're free, 6 o'clock, for $25, you'll get food and drink and entertainment. It's raising money for Friends of Feeney, and that is going to go towards children and families that need assistance after heartbreak or tragedy. So that's our plug. And our last final game. This one's for a prize. Now you guys we're going to see.
Getting a little nervous here.
Yeah.
This is called Incohearent.
Oh, man.
Incoherent, the game of gibberish. They play it here. So this is thanks to Weehaw Roasting and Brewing. So you're gonna like read that out loud.
Beethoven. Beethoven.
Boom. So she gets it. Right?
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play to 6,
All right.
and it's best to think out loud because that's the best part,
Okay.
and read it out loud. And I'll make sure.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold it so the camera can see it too. Sorry.
Check Hann, man, do waffles.
And that could give you a hint.
Are we supposed to be going together? Like
Just
whoever
yell
gets
out.
it
Yeah,
Whoever
first?
gets it first.
All right. Chicken.
Chicken.
Fried food with your
Chicken and
breakfast.
waffles.
Oh,
With your breakfast.
good one. Long gut.
Long gut. Cow
Nothing better. Nothing.
Long gut. Cow war.
Your at-home spa.
Oh, long hot shower.
There
Oh,
you go.
Martin's on the
All right,
board.
Martin. Way to go, Martin.
Didn't want to get none. TV remote.
Boom. 2 in a row.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Fem meal leave vacation. Family vacation.
Boom.
Ooh. Thanksgiving.
That was Margaret's favorite holiday. Should have gotten that one.
I know. Harry Styles.
English singer. Most popular ex-One Direction member.
I totally lose without.
Yeah.
Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Not going to get that.
no
I don't know
way.
who that is
Science project.
Science project.
Science.
either. Oh.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Pie.
Peter Parker.
Super. Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
There you go.
All right, last. He's got 5. And you have
3.
3.
I'm
Uh-oh.
losing here, Martin. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Boom.
Martin's
And Martin
smoking
takes
here.
it.
Martin gets the prize.
I got a prize.
And again, they play this on Friday. There's an adult version. This is the family version. But this is a gift voucher. So you could come and
Whoa, one
get your
free
free
beer?
beverage.
Awesome.
Go.
Thank you. That's great.
Now, don't go over in your lunch hour.
Yeah,
for that.
right.
Yes, that's when you're off the clock.
All right. That's a deal.
And here you go, Margaret.
I get one too?
You get
Oh,
one too.
a consolation
Second prize.
Same
That's second
thing.
prize.
That's second prize. Thank you.
Well, thanks for
Appreciate
playing.
that.
It was wonderful chatting with you. The Bridge Family Center is a wonderful organization. You know, our missions align. Thank you so much for sitting and talking with me. It's a wonderful, we talk with wonderful people in the community, and the Bridge Family Center has definitely been in the community for a long time and doing wonderful things. I see it in the schools. I know families that have benefited and worked in collaboration with you guys, so thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
Well, thank you very much for having us. It
Thanks.
was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Enjoyed
Thanks
it.
for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So episode 47, that was our past one, was Mike Michaud from the Miracle League. Do you know Mike Michaud?
I know about the Miracle League.
The Miracle
definitely.
League
Yep,
is a wonderful
definitely.
spot.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful chatting with Mike. Episode 49, we're going to talk with two women from West Hartford that wrote this book. I'm taking notes. The Imperfect Plan. This is their combination name, Addison McKnight. So we look forward to 49. And then 50, again, Playhouse on Park. It's going to be a Tuesday. Starts at 6. We're going to have multiple cameras, lights, sound. It's going to be great. I'm very excited. So hopefully you can come. West Hartford community, hopefully you come. Oh, you got your magnets.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Nice.
So take those home, put them on your fridge or your car.
Cool.
Okay.
We got stickers.
All right.
All right.
So we played Incoherent. We played Crazy Questions. We shouted out Keating Agency, Fix IV, Donut Crazy, Gastro Park, and West Hartford Lock. And I think that's any closing remarks. I like your advice. Come on, give some more advice to our listeners or closing remarks.
Take good care of yourselves. Talk to people. Stay connected. Eat good food. Sleep a lot. Exercise. Be outside.
What's a good hour of sleep? Does it depend on age?
You mean like how
Are you
much
suggesting that everyone gets 7
I just
to
think
8?
sleep is such an underappreciated thing. Like we shouldn't be sleeping all day, but sleep, go to bed at a reasonable hour and wake up, at a reasonable hour. Try to get 7-8 hours of sleep if you can. That's a really important part of mental health, I think. Yeah.
Do you think very many people do that?
I think a lot of people don't. I think a
think
lot of
you're right.
people's sleep
Yeah.
habits aren't great, and people don't realize that when you're exhausted, everything else is a lot harder. So it's an easy thing to not do well enough.
Most women I know would tell you that they can't remember the last time they get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
No, I try to wake up at 6 and maybe either go for a run, do a little boxing, phone game that I have, little kettlebell workout, something to get the blood flowing in the morning. 6 a.m. every morning.
Definitely.
Pretty
Yeah.
good? Am I doing all right?
I like it. I think you're on the right track. Good. All right.
Any closing remarks, Margaret?
Closing remark, just thank you very much for having us. I love what you did. It's kind of fun to step outside of our roles a little bit and have some fun and play a couple games. And thank you so much for all the work you do for this wonderful community and for the bridge and everybody. I think you're very talented and very gifted, and I'm glad you're using that towards a good cause.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And it's all possible from Dave from Direct Line Media. So if you guys want to have a bridge podcast, he's your man. And thank you. He's not here, but Cody. Oh, actually, he's here. I'll introduce you to Coffee Guy, Cody, at 141 Shield Street. They let us tape here. Wonderful time chatting with you guys. Continue doing the great work. We love to continue the collaboration and partnership. Going forward, maybe on Hartford St. Patrick's Day, we'll always fundraise for the bridge. It would be wonderful. And again, I'm going to go April 30th, sitting with the deans. Closing remarks. Again, we hope to see you May 3rd. I can't say that enough. I said it. I think I beat that one down, right?
You should be recovered from coming to the ball by then.
Right? So yeah, big weekend. The ball. All right. So on 3, we'll say be a good friend.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Be a good friend. That was awesome. Thank you.